The attack on October 7th was launched by Hamas. A number of Achzarit armored vehicles fell into the hands of these folks. Clips posted by Hamas forces show that they have successfully seized a number of Israeli military bases. Several military vehicles were seized, including about a dozen of Achzarit APCs. All vehicles appearing in the clip show that these armored personnel carriers were in intact condition. It was one of the worst single-day losses for a particular Israeli vehicle type in decades. The Israeli ground forces is operating more than 200 Achzarit APCs. This is actually an APC version converted from the T-54-55 tank. It is a very heavy armored personnel carrier, tipping the scales at a whopping 45 tons. An Achzarit actually is heavier than a T-55 is. The vehicle pays for its heavy protection with a low power-to-weight ratio of just 18 horsepower per ton, and a commensurate reduction in mobility compared to a T-55. During the war with the Arab states in 1967, Israel seized a very large number of T-54-55 tanks that the Soviet Union supplied to its allies. Immediately, Tel Aviv converted and commissioned them with the name Turan. Realizing that the original 100mm D10T2S cannon on the T-54-55 tank was not powerful enough and caused logistical difficulties, Israel replaced it with the Western standard 105 M68 gun at that time. By the early 1990s, the Turan tanks had become obsolete. But instead of getting rid of them, Israel took the surprising step of removing the turret, redesigning the interior to turn the T-54-55 tanks into armored personnel carriers called the Achzarit. About 100 Achzarit heavy armored personnel carriers have been in service with the Israeli army after converting and removing spare parts from surplus Turan tanks. The Achzarit received additional armor protection, changed the chassis design with the rear door. It carries 7 fully equipped soldiers with a crew of 3, including driver, gunner, and commander, in charge of combat communications. The weapon system on the Achzarit is quite similar, consisting of only 1 or 2 7.62mm machine guns, but when necessary, the vehicle can also be fitted with a 12.7mm heavy machine gun or an automatic grenade launcher. With the removal of the turret, the chassis weighs only 30 tons, but when put on the multi-purpose armor, it increases significantly. With a total weight of 44 tons, Achzarit is classified as a super heavy armored personnel carrier, while rivals only weigh 15 to 25 tons. Despite its heavy weight, the protection of this APC is among the best in the world. Even a 100mm shell can hardly destroy Achzarit, while most armored personnel carriers can only against 25 to 30mm ammunition. For maneuverability, the vehicle is equipped with an 8V92TA engine with a capacity of 710 horsepower and an Allison XDG4115A automatic transmission for a top speed of 65 km per hour and a range of 550 km. This heavy APC is not amphibious, but with a short preparation can ford water obstacles up to 4 meters deep. It can be said that Achzarit is one of the very few armored personnel carriers with the best armor in the world today. Israel is currently working on a plan to install a 30mm cannon and anti-tank missiles to turn them into heavy infantry fighting vehicles. However, with the advent of the new generation of armored personnel carriers named Nemer, much heavier and more modern, the Achzarits are gradually become redundant for the Israeli army. The Israelis produced around 300 Achzarits and steadily upgraded them through several major conflicts, including Israeli incursions into Gaza in 2004 and 2008. The latest Achzarit Mark II has a new Detroit diesel turbocharged diesel engine and a Raphael remotely controlled turret for its machine gun. Realizing that Tel Aviv intends to eliminate the aforementioned heavy APC, Ukraine has supposed to receive all of this to strengthen its armor force. But with the current conflict situation in the Middle East, these combat vehicles will certainly be mobilized by Israel to the front lines. The 100 or so Achzarits that remain in service in 2023 probably all were Mark IIs. At least a dozen of them were at the Israeli army base in Nakhar Oz in southern Israel when Hamas terrorists breached the border fence between Gaza and Israel on October 7th. The terrorists captured the base, and the Achzarits, representing as much as 12% of the overall fleet of converted T-55s. In another development, Israel is facing another potential conflict on its northern border, bordering Lebanon, with a much more formidable enemy, the Hezbollah. On October 8th, one day after Hamas attacked Israel, Hezbollah fired rockets and artillery shells into Israeli-controlled Golan Heights to show solidarity. According to foreign policy, Hezbollah is Israel's most formidable enemy. In 2000, this group succeeded in forcing Israeli forces to withdraw from southern Lebanon.